Friends, today we take a look at the latest handheld console Pocket S Mini launched by AOKZOE. This S Mini is a smaller version of the previous Pocket S. Like the Pocket S, it uses a beautiful glass panel, an aluminum alloy middle frame, and the same 3.2 processor. It just replaces the screen with a 4.2-inch 4:3 screen with a resolution of 1200 HX370. It is precisely because of this 4.2-inch 4:3 screen that the entire body becomes very compact. For players like me who like small-sized and high-performance handheld consoles, this is also a big temptation. Let's compare it with other handheld consoles. This is RP Mini handheld machine. You can see it compared with RP Mini. Its width and height are almost the same. Among Android handheld devices, they are very compact. The 3 Crystal 2 processor is stuffed into such a small body. Its performance is equivalent to Snapdragon 8 Crystal 2, and it's slightly stronger than Snapdragon 8 Crystal 2 in terms of GPU. But the price is that its heat generation is higher than that of Snapdragon 8 Crystal 2. The handheld console comes with active cooling. Can the heat generated by Snapdragon 3 Crystal 2 be suppressed in this small body? Let's test it later. Let's go through the configuration first. The processor used in the handheld machine is Snapdragon 3 Crystal 2. Storage specifications are 8 plus 128 and up. There are also 12 plus 256 and 16 plus 512. Available in 3 colors, black and white and retro power. Performance of Snapdragon 3 Crystal 2. Its Antutu score is 1.88 million points. Compared to models with Snapdragon 8 Crystal 2, its score will be higher. The difference is mainly in the GPU score. 3 Crystal 2 GPU score. It is hundreds of thousands points higher than that of Snapdragon 8 Crystal 2. Such high performance. Definitely use an active cooling fan. Although this fan is relatively small, but its wind volume is quite large. The gearbox is equipped with a 4500 mAh battery. Charging power is Ninafivia. That is 40W fast charging. The screen of the machine. It uses a 4.2-inch screen with resolution 1200 HX960. This is an LCD screen. The refresh rate is 6 Hz. Let's compare it with the 477, which has the same high-performance 4.3. The 4.7-inch 4.3 screen of the 477. The resolution is also the same. 1200 HX960. On-screen color. The S Mini screen is a little softer. The 477 screen is a bit on the waiting side. The 477 screen supports 120 Hz high refresh rate. The S Mini screen is only 6 Hz. The cross keys and buttons on the front are made of crystal material. It feels more like the PSP buttons. The texture is very good. The cross keys and buttons are made of conductive glue. The greenness is very soft, very comfortable to press. The 2 rockers use small hall rockers. There is an RGB light strip under the rocker. We can open it. You can set its color and brightness in the settings. The keys on the top are also made of conductive adhesive. Both triggers are Hall linear triggers, but the formation is very short. There are 2 more keys here. Its functionality can be customized. The power button of the handheld device has a fingerprint recognition function. The fan touch port has the same fish drum design as AOKZOE S. There is also a custom button on the left side of the handheld device. The right side is the TF inspection. Below is the speaker opening and Type-C interface. The workmanship and texture of the whole machine are very good. Now let's test the game performance. This high-performance 4:3 handheld console. In fact, the best thing to play is PSTU games. Because the performance requirements of PSTU games are relatively high, and the native ratio of many PSTU games is 4:3. 32 are currently using triple resolution. The resolution has exceeded the maximum resolution of the screen. For example, the display effect is definitely better for this processor. Even if the resolution is turned to 4 times, it can still run smoothly, but the screen resolution is not that high, so we can just use 3 times. No other settings have been changed. For handheld consoles with relatively high performance, the fewer settings we open, the game will become more stable. In the first scenario, the requirements are relatively high. In this scenario, 3 times the resolution is sufficient for operation. And now I can clearly feel the vibration of the handheld device. The vibration used in this handheld console is a relatively advanced linear motor. With the performance of AOKZOE, it can actually play NS games. However, due to the proportion and size of the screen, the NS game will look a bit small. But let's try it. You can see the frame number in the upper left corner. Currently I'm in game mode. I'm not in full fire mode because the fan is a bit noisy in that mode. In game mode, the frame rate is basically 278 to 30 frames. It is indeed a bit small to play NS Game 4 on this small screen. After several years of optimization of the AOKZOE processor, its NS driver compatibility is almost the same as that of Snapdragon 8 II. Many as games are playable. Odyssey also runs smoothly. Just a little bit when loading the shader. Overall, it's pretty smooth. Next, let's take a look at the performance of retro games. What I installed here is the exclusive configuration package for Tianmaji and Mr. Digwangxian. The current settings are reflective borders and point-to-point retractable images. Let's compare it with our own APM. APM is indeed the best screen for playing GBA. The GBA effect of this screen is very good. As for Air Mini, I think it may be able to reach 80% of its level. So let's take a look at the outstanding performance of this screen. Because many people on the internet said that this screen smear is very serious. We can actually feel it when the screen moves quickly. Yes, a little bit. But I don't think it's serious. Try drawing a game. Adventure Director is the game that is best at detecting smear. Is this shadow okay? But it's definitely worse than OLED screens. But inside the LCD, this should be considered a normal level. Welcome to the battery life of the machine. Because the battery of 4500 Hanan is a little small, I started working from 8:30 in the morning to 11 o'clock now. 45% of the battery has been lost. If calculated based on this, use it to play some PST games. The battery life is probably around 3 to 4 hours. Now let's test its heating conditions. Let's run some NS games and put it under high load, then play with it for half an hour to see how it heats up. I have been playing NS emulator for half an hour now. Now let's take a look at the temperature of the handheld device. At present, I use somatosensory words. I feel like the middle frame is a little warmer. Maybe it's the hot air from the air outlet. It conducts heat to the middle frame. But this temperature is not too hot. I can't feel any heat in the button area. There's no heat behind it either. The whole screen is a little warm. Especially the right side of the screen. Let's test it. The right part of the screen is more than 38 degrees. The part touched by the palm does not exceed 36 degrees. Let's take a look at the temperature of the frame. Actually, it's okay, it's only 35 degrees. It's 35 degrees. Then the hottest part of the handheld device is that the screen is over 38 degrees, 39 degrees. It feels like the entire heat dissipation control is still okay. The temperature of the entire handheld device, I can only feel warm at best. Not very hot. It's completely within the acceptable range. I just played the NS game for half an hour. Battery dropped by 25%. If calculated based on this, if you play NS games on this handheld console, the virtual flight may only take a little more than 2 hours. Finally, let me talk about the price of handheld consoles. The starting price of this handheld console is 2,599 yuan. The price is a bit high. It basically has nothing to do with cost performance. What customers is it targeting? Just those who like 4:3 screens. And I like small-sized, high-performance handheld consoles. The workmanship, texture and appearance of the handheld machine are very high-end and beautiful. As an Android handheld console, the playability is also a very important attribute. If you think the price is really unacceptable, you can go and have a look at Little Yellow Fish. Because when I made the first reservation before, this handheld console comes with an L Mini. If an Mini is converted into 400 yuan, then its price is only 2,199. At present, you can basically receive one for 1,800 on AOKZOE. If you have new friends, you can check it out. So that's it for today's video. If you like my short-term video, remember to click follow and like. See you next time. Bye.